welcome back to Unfiltered Thoughts. This is episode 2. I hope you enjoyed episode 1. For the very first go, I think it went exceptionally well. I know that one was very based on just a couple of things, mainly giving advice about, learning when to walk away and to let go of things. Today, we're going to just try and take a different route. Maybe look on more positive sides of things, give some positive motivation. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are watching this right now that are feeling like you're stuck in life. Like you could be doing this instead of what you're doing at the moment. You feel like you could be reaching further for your goals and you're not able to. And I'm just going to sit here and say that it's okay. It's okay to be where you are right now. You may feel like you're stuck, like you don't have nowhere to go, or you feel lost. And that is a completely okay feeling. For me personally, I feel like there's a lot of goals that I should be achieving that I haven't quite achieved yet. But at the same time, I'm only 20. So I have a very long time to achieve those goals. And honestly, it doesn't matter the age that you are, because you can achieve your goals at any point in your life. All that matters is that you take that very first step forward in achieving those goals. And I believe in you. I really do. Whether it be a different job, going to school, or a different career path, going after a different relationship because the one you're in currently doesn't work, or taking a step out of your comfort zone. And that is something that people don't honestly talk about often, is taking a step out of your comfort zone. And we'll talk about that in just a moment. But to reroute back to what we were saying, it is okay to feel a little lost sometimes. Because what would be life if you weren't lost here and there? You go through all these obstacles and hurdles, but eventually, and I can't stand the saying, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. But it honestly is a true statement. There is always a light at the end of the tunnel. And after you overcome all these obstacles and hurdles, it'll be totally worth it in the end. It will. All that matters is that you start taking a step in that right direction. Is that you slowly, and even if it's just baby steps, even if it's just one little thing. Hey, say you want to go on a diet, you want to go to the gym, start off doing a couple exercises at home. Eat a couple healthy meals. Start off with something little. You want to switch a different job. What exactly is the field you want to go into? What part of it? What would make you comfortable? What makes you happiest? Okay? There's something that you want to go to school for and you haven't quite had the chance to do it. Okay, that's fine. Take a minute and think about it. And then slowly start making that step. Look into it. Look when you can schedule yourself to start with some classes, or you can start putting your foot in the door to get into that program, or whatever it is that you may want to do. It is okay to take a step forward, to start reaching for those goals that you feel as though you've been putting on the back burner for so long. Even if it's only been on the back burner for just a week. For say you have laundry that you need to be folded. I'm talking to you. Go fold your laundry, okay? For say you haven't made your bed yet. I'm talking to you. Go make your bed. Anything and everything is a step in the right direction. Now, of course, that varies. Don't make no stupid mistakes. Don't do nothing stupid that you'll regret later. Don't get yourself locked up because there will be nobody to bail you out. I know I wouldn't, especially if it was over something stupid. You'll have to sit and think for at least a day. But digressing from that, now let's talk about getting out of your comfort zone. Getting out of your comfort zone is something that people don't really discuss very often, because it is one of those things that people say is easier said than done. Getting out of your comfort zone is never the easiest thing to do, because it's all these what ifs that start running through your mind. What if I get judged? What if somebody thinks this or says that? What if it ends in this way? But you need to overall just stop with those what ifs. Because if you keep thinking all these what ifs, you won't get nowhere. You won't be able to step out of your comfort zone. Like me doing this, it's not necessarily something that, I'm excited to do it. I'm so excited. I feel like I'm engaging without engaging, But in the same token, you have that back thought of, people may see this as stupid. People may not find this cool. But who cares? Because if it makes you happy, if it's what makes you excited, do it. That's all that matters, is as long as it's for you, do it. Step out of your comfort zone. Go get that other job. Go talk to that person. Go ask for a raise. Do what makes you happy. Because in the long run is what will count. And one thing I love to think about whenever I say stepping out of your comfort zone is, like, for instance, with amusement parks. You know, you get so nervous and you start getting that weird feeling of, I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know if I want to do this. And then what happens? You get on that coaster and, you know, those nerves are really hitting because you're sitting in that car and you're waiting and you're waiting. And then boom, you go. And then once it ends, what do you usually say whenever you're getting off? That was so fun. That was so cool. I love that. I want to go on it again. Whenever you step out of your comfort zone, in the end, you're like, wow, that really was actually worth it. So always think of that it will be worth it. Let's do a little talk towards my mothers, because I know I may have some mothers or some fathers watching, and I just wanted to say that y'all are doing amazing. I know it's hard. I know some days you're ready to just throw your hands up in the air and be like, kids, go do your own thing. Even if you're only 2 and 3 years old, just go find something to do. Leave mommy alone, you know? But you are doing so amazing, because already from the jump, you are so powerful. Now, this is going to be more toward the mothers, but y'all are just different. Y'all are so different. I mean, you carry and grow a literal human inside of you for 9 months, go through painful birth, and then you have this beautiful baby boy or girl, and you get to watch them grow up, form their own personality, make friends, go through school, all these things. I just want to say to the mothers and to the fathers out there, y'all are doing amazing. Y'all are doing great. Shout out to my mom and dad. Y'all are amazing. So don't ever second guess yourself, because you're doing great. You're doing really great. So much better than some other people are doing. And I'm proud of you. I'm going to talk about drama. It seems a little weird to talk about. This definitely seems more in the teenage fashion of talking about, but I cannot stand drama. And I'm sure there are so many people out there that can relate to that. I really cannot stand drama, because how low do you have to stoop to create drama? To get yourself involved in drama? How hard is it to just take a step back and be like, yeah, no, that's stupid. Like, I'm sorry, but if you ever feel like that drama will be created from something, or you feel like you might be accidentally stepping into some drama, take a step back and realize where you're standing. Because where you're standing is in the middle of a big old ring of fire. I don't think you want it. That's just my opinion. That is just solely my opinion. I mean, but hey, whatever floats your boat, honey bun. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. Have at it, not me. Let's talk a little random, okay? How about a little questionnaire? If y'all made it this far, tell me, if you were to have a spirit animal, what would your spirit animal be and why? For me, I love butterflies. Granted, you can't tell because the background is blurred, but I have butterflies all over my wall. I have butterflies all over me. There's a butterfly right there on my wall. For me, I love butterflies. This sign specifically beside me says, perhaps the butterfly is proof that you can go through a great deal of darkness yet still become something beautiful. So, me personally, I love butterflies. I absolutely adore them. So tell me down below, what is your spirit animal and why? Okay, I just sat here and thought for a second about something funny I can talk about. And something funny I wanted to talk about regards my brother. Shout out Caleb if you are watching this. Love you much. I don't know if y'all have any funny sleepwalking stories. If you do, please let me know. I would love to read up on them and hear more about them. But in particular, someone I know most that has sleepwalked around me would be my brother. Now, his is a little bit deeper. Mainly whenever he has nightmares, he sleepwalks. But I love to say he sleep runs, because I cannot tell you the amount of times I have woken up to of him running through my room and then out of breath. because he acted like he just ran a marathon. There was one time that I was asleep, and this was years ago. I was asleep in my bed, and I hear like mumbling coming from beside me. And I'm like, ain't no way there's a ghost beside me right now. I was really about to question myself for a second. There's some paranormal activity going on. But no, I look up. Scared me half to death. This boy is beside my bed from where I just folded clothes before I laid down. I just set them neatly beside my bed. He was down beside my bed, going through my clothes. Like, homie was straight up picking out what outfit he wanted to wear. I mean, he picked up a pair, shook his head no, put it down, picked up another one, shook his head no, put it down, picked up another one. Grabbed it. I was like, Caleb, hey, are you good? Wait, I gotta get ready for school. Go back to bed. Homie had me real confused. Cause what are you doing? What are you doing? Go. Once again, I don't know what paranormal activity stuff this is, but go. Out of my room, because you're really starting to freak me out. My sister, I don't really see her sleepwalk often, but I have one story in particular that literally haunts me to this day. Saying paranormal activity reminds me of this story specifically, okay? We shared a room, and we both had loft beds. Well, under her loft bed specifically, she had like this like hanging thing that had Polaroids on it, like Polaroid pictures, okay? And well, I'd already woken up to her sitting up in her bed and just staring at me. And I'm thinking to myself, I roll over and I feel something. You know, whenever you can feel someone staring at you, I'm like, someone is staring at me. I look over, she's staring at me. Straight up. The girl is sit up she is judging me hardcore in her sleep. So I was like, all right, yep, nope, rolled myself back over. Well, then all of a sudden, I doze back off for a minute, and I hear like this clinking sound. And I'm like, oh, please tell me that I'm just hearing things. Please. So I lightly roll over. Tell me why this girl is underneath her bed, just hitting the Polaroid pictures that she had hanging under her bed. I was like, nope, not for me. Not for me. She straight up, she was up under the bed, just hitting them. Talk about paranormal activity. I mean, like, I had Annabelle up in here with me. I was like, no. I'm like, Natalie, you awake? Tell me why this girl whips her head at me. Nope. I have never put a blanket over my head and so fast like I did that night. I woke up the next morning. I said, Natalie, did you wake up at any point in the night? She was like, no. I was like, you're lying, because I don't know what possessed you, but whoo, man. Whoo. Nope. I about kicked you out. You about almost slept on the porch. Because, and you might have to tonight if you do it again. Like, straight up. I'm going to put a bag over your head and I'm going to throw you outside. Because I ain't sleeping with that. No, ma'am. She didn't remember any of it, but those are probably the two funniest stories that I have of both my brother and my sister whenever it comes to sleepwalking. I don't think personally I've ever sleptwalk, I don't know, however you say it. I'm pretty sure I have. I wouldn't be surprised, maybe at least a couple times, but to my knowledge, I haven't that anybody has seen. I know I do sleep talk. If I'm very stressed out in my life, or I have a lot going on, like for instance, my senior year of high school, I was drum major of my marching band. So I did a lot of yelling. I was a very loud person because I had to be loud. I mean, I was always yelling out into a big field with a bunch of marchers. So therefore, whenever I would take naps or I would fall asleep at night, I would start having dreams like I'm yelling at my band, giving them commands or something. And so I would wake myself up by yelling. It wasn't fun, and it would spook me. That's also why I refuse to take naps anywhere but my own bed, because it mainly happens whenever I take a nap. I don't know why it doesn't really happen if I'm actually asleep at night, but whenever I take a nap, you can bet I will be waking up with some type of noises. I've woken up playing tic-tac-toe in my sleep before. I woke up going like this right here. Yup, playing tic-tac-toe in my sleep. Also, I know this is not an original experience. Please tell me if you've had the same. Is waking up thinking that you're texting on your phone, and you wake up and there's no phone in your hand. Because, man, the amount of times that's happened to me, that's how you know you're chronically on your phone. I'm calling myself out there. Let me tell you about a scary movie on the topic of my sister being like Annabelle in my room. A scary movie that has still haunted me to this day. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of The Babadook. If you haven't, I recommend searching it up and watching it, because if you want nightmares, I promise you The Babadook will do it to you, because it's basically a children's book that the child reads, and I think you say like the Babadook, like the Babadook, dook, dook, and you say it over and over and over again, and then he appears on your ceilings and stuff in your room, and he comes out whenever you try to go to sleep at night. Yeah, no, that kept me up for a really long time, and that's where I started sleeping with my door shut. Because for me, I'm blind. I wear contacts. So whenever I take them out at night, my eyes are super blurry. So, shapes tend to merge together. And I swear to God, I mean, sometimes it seems like there's a man standing in my room. I have a mirror right in the corner of my room. If I'm not careful, I will think a man is staring at me, and it really does scare me. But it's okay. It's okay. It is okay, I guess. But tell me down below if you've had any sleepwalking experiences, sleep talking, if you have done anything weird in your sleep, because I would love to hear and cover some of those stories, because I am sure they would be hilarious. And also tell me what some of your favorite horror movies are. Personally, for me, I just love horror movies in general. My favorite, I grew up watching it, is Mama, or Mama, however you say it. Loved that since I was a young kid. But my favorite genre is horror comedy movies. I was about to say horror scary. Horror comedy movies are by far my favorite genre of movies, because it's so funny, yet it still gives you that thrill of a scary movie. I'm a sucker for those type of movies. I really am. But that'll conclude for today's video. I know it was a little scattered. It was a little bit of everywhere, but it's okay. We got a little bit of motivation in for the day. So y'all got y'all's daily motivation and a little bit of story time. I hope y'all enjoyed episode 2 of Unfiltered Thoughts, and I will see y'all on the next one. Bye.